So you have the Zeitgeist movement that's been going on for a while, and it's actually got a lot of members around the world. And the concept is quite, it's nothing really that new, a resource-based economy. Buckminster Fuller talked about things like that, connecting the global electricity grid and so on. It makes a lot of sense because the current scheme of things, socioeconomic and political, is not sustainable, and I can understand why people would not understand that. Because, you know, they're used to the way things are. Whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable under the current scheme doesn't really matter. It's the only thing they know, and they haven't been exposed to other ideas or curious about other ideas for a long time. So, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to just get on with it and do the best they can under the current set of circumstances, and hopefully they'll be okay. Now, one could imagine that over time, more and more people would become aware of other ideas, perhaps, even though things seem very cyclical, like they just keep repeating over and over the same course, and we keep making the same mistakes. But perhaps, given enough time, we might be able to just in some way continue to get better. I don't know what people are conserving when they think of themselves as conserving a tradition. I always think that people like that have a very short view of history. Maybe it goes back their lifetime, or maybe their grandparents or something. But they're not looking at a very big picture across cultures and time. And if you have a more historic perspective on things, you might think more like Yuval Harari and people like that. Anyway, I think this Zeitgeist movement is a great thing. I have from the beginning, and since I'm more of a creative type, I never was worked up about his first film, whether it was a conspiracy theory or not. I always thought he's a bright guy, he sees things, he asks the right questions and tries to figure stuff out without trying to make himself into the epicenter, the Rosetta Stone of the future of humankind. He seems like a fairly down-to-earth, level-headed man. And the two books that he wrote, they make a lot of sense. I'm not really surprised that mainstream people don't want to talk to him about these ideas, because the people who would be able to, you know, give him a broader reach or platform would be people that have a big stake in the status quo. And why would you want to talk about something like a sustainable civilization when you're making out like a bandit and your Instagram posts are just awesome or whatever? So I get it. And other people, these kind of ideas never cross their mind. They got better things to think about. They may be mundane things, but come on, we're just people. So I've decided I'm going to read one page of Zeitgeist, the movement, his book, and the new human rights movement a day until the books are done, and hopefully talk to somebody on Skype about that page. And what I want to do is try to activate our imaginations so that we can ask questions like, what would happen to us if we had a different type of economy, or if we didn't all have cars or want cars, or whatever question you might have, like what if? And can you imagine that? And maybe if lots and lots of us can exercise our imagination, we can dream of a wonderful present and a grand future, even though it's probably not going to happen. It's fun to think about. That's why people tell stories, after all. So, thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bulianti out.